I am recording. Guys, before I get started, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to Devon's Journey to Recovery, victims of Africom, drones and stuff like that. Look it up, trust me. Uh, TV, Redneck Economics, help support her. And also, Sleepy J. Buy Sleepy J some goddamn coffee. All links will be provided in the description box. Let's watch this video. 7 phrases people who gaslight say. Now, the reason why this is interesting to me is because I'm curious if I say any of these things. That's number one. Number two, it's like, Nah, I guess I'm just curious. Go with it. Prop, I got you. Hang on to that. I got you, though. All right, here we go. What's up, Prop, by the way? Muay Thai.
Hey Psych2Goers, welcome back to another video. Have you ever heard of the term gaslighting? Or have you been gaslighted by someone? Simply put, gaslighting is a simple and often overlooked kind of psychological abuse. It's a form of emotional manipulation meant to deceive you and make you doubt your own sanity and perception of reality.
Now, I never use this word because I don't know exactly what it means. So I never use the word, yo, you're gaslighting someone or gaslighting me. I never really looked the term up ever. I hear people use it. I've heard Jimmy Dore say it quite a bit. But I don't actually know exactly what it means. So hopefully this video informs me. Here we go.
And because of its insidious nature, unfortunately, gaslighting can be difficult to spot, especially up close. But you can better protect yourself against gaslighting by learning how it works and becoming familiar with how gaslighters operate. With that said, here are 7 common phrases gaslighters often use to manipulate others. Number 1, I have no idea what you're talking about. Have you ever confronted someone about something and they say, "What? What are you talking about?" You're speechless, taken aback. You start to explain yourself, but they deny knowing anything so unrelentingly that you feel like you should just shake your head and brush it off instead. Oh,
wait.
sorry, I must have just gotten confused, you'll say, with a hesitant smile. And just like that, they've planted the seed of self-doubt that will make it easier and easier for them to gaslight you each time they do, all by simply denying what they've done and acting so sure of themselves that they've convinced you too. Number 2.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay, so that's an aspect of gaslighting, according to this lady, right? I'm sure everyone, a bunch of different people with different meanings behind it or definitions or whatever, but that one definitely sparked something because, like, as a kid, I can remember doing that with, like, obviously, like, silly, frivolous things like, hey, Jordan, did you do this? I don't even know what you're talking about. No, mommy, I didn't do anything. I don't even know what you're talking about. I can recognize that. I can recognize that, like, from my childhood perspective. All right, here's number 2.
You're overreacting, or you're being too sensitive or emotional. Has anyone ever told you that
I've
maybe
never
you're
really
just
done that one.
overreacting and not thinking clearly when you were upset with them? Or that you need to lighten up or stop being so sensitive when you call them out for something they said or did to hurt you? Don't let those people get to you. Invalidating someone's feelings by treating them as if they're in the wrong is a
You can
manipulation
argue with me,
tactic
Muay Thai,
gaslighters
all
often
day
use
and
to pin
night.
the blame on you
We
instead of
can get it
themselves.
in, bro.
Number
Pause.
3, you're imagining.
So, number 2, I've never really, I've never done that. That's something where I don't think I've ever done that in regards to. Sorry that I'm making it about me, but that's the only experience that I know, like, through and through. I've never done that. You're overreacting. Calm down. Hey, calm down. You're overreacting. I'm more of a, hey, what's the problem? What happened? What's going on? So if that's a form of gaslighting, I've seen it happen, but I've never partook in that myself. All right, number 3 is you're imagining things, or that's not what happened at all. Okay, I've heard that in, like, in a honest way. Like, dude, that's not what happened. I'm trying to explain to you what actually happened. But I guess they mean a dishonest way. Okay, here we go.
Imagining things, or That's not what happened at all. What makes gaslighting so
I'll get to
dangerous
the
and
comments, guys.
psychologically
Don't worry.
damaging is the fact that it can make us doubt our own memories and experiences, sometimes to the point where we don't know what to believe anymore. And it all starts with this deceptively simple phrase: "You don't know what you're talking about. Let me tell you what really happened."
What
People who
really
talk
happened?
down to you like this are most likely trying to gaslight you. So be careful and always remember, there's a difference between letting someone tell you their side of the story and letting them feed you lies. Number 4.
Okay. So yeah, that one I've seen happen in regards to, I guess, like an honest form of it. Of, oh no, let me explain what really happened. But yeah, obviously there's always that possibility of the negative side of it where it's like, oh, someone's just lying. I guess that's put into the category of gaslighting. Of no, where you try to mind melt them. Like, no, let me tell you what really happened, and they feed you just horseshit in order to get out of something, or get out of trouble, or relinquish responsibility, or even more devious reasons, right? Some scary stuff. Creepers. So, all right, let's continue.
You're not making any sense. Whenever you argue with a gaslighter, it's hard to come out on top because they're always going to try and turn the tables on you. You know you sound crazy, right? Can you even hear yourself?
Oh, I do
That's a
this. This
common
one I
form
do.
of manipulation. Tearing someone down so they can be vulnerable enough to believe them and buy into their nonsense. Gaslighters are experts at making you feel paranoid and crazy, especially when they know that you're in the right and have no other way to gain the upper hand in an argument. Number 5.
Damn it, I wanted to keep it a surprise. Uh, that I've used, but not in a, I guess, a gaslighting way, where I'm trying to like shapeshift stories so that so that I'm correct somehow. I'll straight up be like, "Do you understand? Like that's not what your logic's saying to me right now." Like I'll do that all day and night. That's because I honestly believe the logic doesn't add up, or this or whatever the narrative that they're saying doesn't make sense to me. So I'll be like, "This doesn't make sense to me." I'll ask questions to try and figure out that logic, Dubster, and yeah, I think it's a decent. I like that method. I hope when like if people watch this, they don't just straight up look at it as like rules to go by, to where if you hear certain words, you're just like, oh no, got to get away from this. Devil. I hope not. Like being honest, you will never fall into gaslight like categories. You could be incorrect, 100%. Like I've done that, right? I think we've all done that, where we say something and end up being incorrect, even though we were honestly inquiring about something or honestly stating something. Like, oh yeah, you could be incorrect, but you're not in gaslight fucking territory. But I can see someone dishonest doing that as well, to where like they know the other person's more correct or even straight up correct, and they will be like, hey, come on, bro, look at the logic. Like I hear that a lot in arguments, uh, where people will change their tone of voice in order to sound more correct. Vash, right? Or it's like the words they're actually saying, like if they just write it out in text rather than using their voice, might sound and look completely like, hey, wait a minute, this is completely wrong. But if I say it, come on, this makes sense, doesn't it? Start inflecting my voice and stuff like that to make myself sound right rather than actually being correct. All right, number 5, stop exaggerating the situation. That's another one that's like, oh no, that's not where I'm at. Like, please, let it be known, man. Here we go.
Stop exaggerating the situation.
I will get
Are
to the
you
chat, I
starting to
promise.
notice a
Trying to
pattern
like
in the
record a
phrases
video.
gaslighters often use to try and manipulate you? They usually start with the word you, as in you're the one who's always in the wrong. You're the one who's mistaken, and you're the one causing the problem. Not them. Never them. Why? Because gaslighters will do everything they can to convince you that you're wrong. And they'll often do
Sounds
this
like a
by
you
tricking you into
problem.
thinking that you're imagining
You.
all these problems, just being paranoid, and that your
Uh,
concerns are all exaggerated or unfounded. Number 6.
okay. So basically throwing the blame at the other person, kinda. Right? Like, oh, you're exaggerating. Or it's not that big of a deal. You're overdoing it, or something like that. Eh. I like when people are passionate about what they're talking about. The only worry I have is that it is what actions follow, right? If there's certain people that I can argue with, I'm like, okay, I'm sure they won't fucking, try to burn down whatever, like my YouTube channel or my Discord or something. Like, they won't try to fucking melt the city with their anger, right? To where they're like, okay, we're gonna mass flag this and get you shut down or something like. But other than that, like, I love people being passionate about what they're talking about, right? I'm ready to jump in there with them, especially if we're arguing with each other. Damn, that's comfy for me. Neurotically comfy. Like, I feel emotions and I'm like, be a little nervous. I could be a little this, a little that. I feel all that, but I enjoy, being in that, you know, energetic type of, mode instead of, strictly intellectualizing. All right, number 6. If anything, I'm the one who should be mad at you. Oh, this is like probably like made for like couples or something. Like, all these things are made for like everyday life, like family life, when you get in arguments and shit. All right, here we go. Number 6.
If anything, I'm the one who should be mad at you. Remember how we said gaslighters love to flip the situation onto you? Well, this is a simple example of that. They'll often act as if, by calling them out and making them take responsibility for their actions, you're the one hurting them. Why are you mad? They might ask. They may say things like, I'm the one being wrongfully
How devious
accused,
you
even
look.
though I did nothing wrong. I'm the victim here, not you. See what we mean? They're deflecting responsibility by manipulating your perception of the situation and rewriting the narrative. And number 7.
That I've seen happen. That I've seen happen. Right? I'm sure we've all seen like most of these or all of them, like in just everyday life. Right? Get in an argument with your parents, or if you're the parent and you hear it from your kid or brothers and sisters, and on and so forth. These things can happen on a typical level, in my opinion. I don't think I really partake in so much of it, but I'm very sure they do happen based on my experience of seeing others. So, all right, let's go on. Number 7.
Don't listen to anything they tell you. You can't trust anyone but me. Yikes.
That's
Out
the
of all the
spooky one.
words and phrases gaslighters tend to use when
That's the
manipulating
spooky
us,
one.
this might be the worst one of all. Why would you listen to them? Or, you believe them over me? Are just a couple of phrases a gaslighter will use to try to alienate you from anyone who sees there's something wrong and wants to help you. They
Real quick, like, there are honest people that do that too, right? So she's strictly coming from the perspective of intention, which is something I talk about all the time. The person's intention behind saying these.
want you to think that there isn't anyone else that you can trust but them, when the awful truth is that they're the ones you should have never trusted in the first place. Have you heard any of these statements or been gaslit by someone? Although a lot of people are still unfortunately unaware of what gaslighting is or how dangerous it can be, it's important that we take the steps to educate ourselves enough to be able to recognize it. If you or anyone you know has experienced gaslighting for a long time, please do not hesitate to seek help from a licensed professional. Remember that this video is
Wait, what? Licensed professional? Oh man. It wasn't terrible, but that part always bothers me because how expert are these experts in the first place? That's not saying that, oh, you can't trust any of them or whatever the fuck. No, there's plenty of guys that are degreed, guys and gals that are straight up full on degrees in this stuff and are fucking brilliant with it, in my opinion. But let's be real, not all people are equally good at this type of stuff, the psychological stuff. That's just my honest opinion. All right. Yeah, chooser's choice. Let's throw that out there. All right. So what I read from this is, I think it will boil back to the thing I always talk about, which is intention, right? Because a lot of these things, not all of them, but a lot of these things, these 7 rules or whatever, or what is it, 7 phrases, uh, sometimes honest people say these things, or someone in a fit of like passion about a topic or about a relationship or whatever. 100% that happens. So the part I would look at is the quote unquote psychopathic version of this. The cold, I'm just mentally trying to manipulate you and move you in directions and shit like that and change what actually happened. Try to shapeshift your reality, right? That's the spooky stuff. It is. And yeah. Very spooky to me. Especially that last phrase. Let me get that last phrase. Don't listen to anything they tell you. You can't trust anyone but me. Oh my god, that's the vampire under your fucking bed. My god. That's the spooky one. Right? Now, once again, there are people that are emotional beings, empathetic, and they have a view of what actually happens in reality, and they're like, yo, like, trust, like, all these people out here, trust me, you can't listen to them. Trust me. Right? I'm your father, or I'm your wife, or I'm your daughter, or I'm your whatever. Right? I'm your friend. Trust me. That 100% happens. It's more about, once again, that underlying thing, which is what is their intention behind it? What is the intent? Manipulate or to be honest? Yeah, that's it. Stop record. There we go. Remember, thumbs down, guys. Thumbs down. And check out all the links in the description box so you can share them, donate to them, and help other people out. What it's about, guys.